Hello, this is Paloma. I come back with the story the sky is telling for the next few days. Beautiful family, thank you for joining the channel. Thank you for your comments. It's been really lovely reading you. So we are meeting today precisely in the new moon in Sagittarius. I was talking about this last week. So there is a seed of hope, of faith. It is held by this exalted energy of creativity in the sky, but with the main task to be mature about the energy and the vision and the seed itself. We could actually call it a seed of spiritual maturity, in fact, because there is the expansion of Sagittarius, but it is through patience, consistency, and deep reflection that we will actually bring this to fruition. I know I spoke of this last week. Let us just go back into some of the key points of this energy, because it is the energy with which we're going to open up this week. So it's a seed in the school of freedom, truth, joy, the joy of spirit, the adventure, the travel, the philosopher, Sagittarius, which is precisely where Mercury is having the retrograde experience of retrieval of our energy, repairing of our perception system, and updating of our belief system as well. So the ruler planet of the new moon is Jupiter, who is also retrograde in Gemini, ruling Mercury, right? So both of them, they are drawing this square, this tense energy to Saturn in Pisces. I am mentioning this because I do want to say all through the month of December that we are opening up today, there is this exaltation of the mutable energy through these tensions in different ways, but it's experienced as a difficulty to find cohesion or coherence in our thoughts and like just ideas. It feels a little bit like a cognitive dissonance, It's confusion, basically. That's why the mastery of this moment is in pausing and silence, where we can actually, through a deep listening, maybe find an actual truth in our own hearts. There is like a calling of destiny all through the month, because the nodes of fate are being stimulated all through December at the end of their process. And I believe the adventure that we are sitting here is wider, bigger than we can even imagine. And that is why this is a seed of faith, of spiritual fortitude. Actually, and there's also a very important thing, which is we need to be temperance. That's what we need to cultivate. There is no immediate satisfaction with this energy, no? Our addiction to dopamine won't get any satisfaction. So it is through introspection and reflection that we will actually renew the sense of purpose that we are updating towards 2025. And I told you last week, maybe right now you have more questions than answers, and that's perfect, because if we make the pertinent questions, we will have the opening for actual growth. Okay, that's about the energy that starts with this week. And there's a lot happening this week. So even though we have all of this reflective energy, a lot is happening, a lot will be happening through December. So it's not a lack of events. Actually, I think that's why we ought to manage our energy, our vitality, and our time wisely. I'm going to mention the main alignments of December, just so we have like a big picture of what's going on. And then I'll go through what happens this week, okay? So December, we have this new moon. Then Mars starts its retrograde motion on the 6th of December. Neptune will start his direct motion on the 7th of December. We're going to have a full moon in Gemini with Mercury stationing direct on the 15th of December. Then we have the solstice on the 21st of December, opening up a new season with Mother Earth. Then we have the second square between Jupiter and Saturn. The first one was in August, and this is important. We have Chiron stationing direct on the 19th degree of Aries, which is the eclipse point of the full eclipse we had on April this year. And we end the month with another new moon on the 30th of December, a new moon in the 9th degree of Capricorn. Okay, that's a big picture. Now, I do want to say, even though we are entering a cardinal season once the sun enters Capricorn on the 21st, we are still going to have this that I am insisting upon, which is this very highlighted energy in the mutable signs. I say this because this requires flexibility, adaptability, like this knowing how to navigate equilibrium and balance as a dynamic experience, and a deep connection to intuition, to spirit itself. So we can actually have a synthesis of all that is going on into the true wisdom, true wisdom of our inner guidance. I would also say we could call upon humor as an energy that will allow us to go through it in a lighter way. Because if we fall in the temptation of a lot of self-importance, pride, or even arrogance, this can be a very uncomfortable month. So the general flavor is recalibration, integration, assimilation, and we are preparing our energy. We are already in this fast lane highway energy from November 2024 until July 2025. We have like everything changes. That is why if we look ahead, we can understand why December is key for us to regenerate, restore, recover our center, and prepare our energy. The thing is, we need to be intentional about it because it is noisy and quite distracting anyway. Right, so this week. So the big news is Mars stationing retrograde, but I do want to mention a few other alignments that I think are relevant before I go deeper into him. So the 5th of December, we have the Cassimi Mercurio, which is a conjunction of Mercury and the Sun in the 14th degree of Sagittarius. This is another seed moment of this higher vision, wider perspective. It is like an insemination of consciousness into the human mind. And it is a half point of Mercury retrograde, which also speaks of gaining some more clarity, not all of the clarity yet, but some more clarity. And to me, it's also about a message that wants to be sung by your heart. Let me explain. The day before, we also have what they call the Gates of the Rose, or a Venus door, because there's a conjunction of the Moon and Venus in Capricorn, and in the Venus cycle this represents an opening of the throat chakra precisely. So I think this is like a beautiful synchronicity here about the portal of our voice and how purifying the intent of our decree we can actually acquire more agency and power in our manifestation. So I think that's beautiful in the middle of the week. Then we do have the Mars subject that I'll go to in a moment. Just want to say on the 6th of December, Venus is going to enter Aquarius. This is another shift of energy, and of course, as soon as she gets there, she's going to meet up with Pluto in the 0th degree of Aquarius. This is not the first time this happens. They've already met in 0 degrees Aquarius before, but this is the definite one, of course, and we know nothing will be the same. The way in which we relate has changed, will keep changing. We're going to be exploring, experimenting, creating new ways of restoring balance, truth, justice, freedom in our way, in all our relationships. The South Node in Libra is saying goodbye. Venus is the ruler of this. We've already done such a purifying work here in terms of our relationships and how we understand them. So I think there are new horizons for the way in which we relate, and we will be exploring them from this Aquarian, more detached, maybe ancestral and futuristic way of doing it. We'll see together. We'll co-create it, I imagine. On the 7th of December, we have Neptune stationing direct. Okay, Neptune is really slow, so he's already been in this 27th degree of Pisces for a long time. He's going to be there all through the month, but still, when a planet changes direction, his influence and energy becomes very evident, powerful. And also, you'll see, let me just remind us, Neptune energy, he's the higher realm. So it's mystical, it's magical, it's inspiration, it's creativity, it's the realm of spirit, it's spirituality, and it's also confusion, escapism, delusion, addiction. So you see why the thing isn't so clear. just now, because the whole month we have this Neptunian energy that can work both ways. So let us choose wisely how we attune with the energy of Neptune. Yeah, I think when it comes to intuition, creativity, spiritual connection, it's extraordinary. But when we are looking to understand something from a logical, rational point of view right now, it's pretty confusing. So Neptune, I've heard many astrologers say he's like a subtle influence. I think his influence has been anything but subtle lately. I mean, he moves the oceans, right? And he's actually like the orchestra director of this whole thing of the transpersonal planets, this square of talents. He's the one in the point, so his energy is extremely relevant right now. He is the ruler of Pisces. We have the North Node entering Pisces in December. We're gonna have an exaltation of Piscean energy like you cannot imagine at the end of 2025. So I think we need to learn to see and feel beyond illusion. We have to mature our discernment. I think the first stage of what I want to name about this is we need to wake up to the reality that we are dreaming, so we can reclaim agency and authority and start dreaming a new dream for humanity. Okay, now Mars retrograde. Look, Mars is the planet that retrogrades the least from all of the planets. So it's not his prime time. No, he doesn't like this. It happens every 2 years. It's a planet of action, of will, of movement, of affirmation, of fight, of survival. So moving backwards, even if it is metaphorical, it's just uncomfortable. No, he cannot move in the same way, or I would say speed at which he would want to. So for every one of us, it requires patience. And like managing our impulse, our energy, our bodies. No, there's a lot of things that Mars rules that sometimes we don't think about. For example, driving at high speed, or extreme sports, or initiating a new routine, or initiating a new... It's not the time for that. It's not. But if we want to go back to a project, a creative project, something we left somewhere in the road, then ignited our passion, our love, our sense of self, it's a great time to do that. Like any planet retrograde, it's an invitation to repair, revisit, renew. In truth, it's an opportunity for this planet to get deconditioned so we can actually access the highest expression of what he represents, right? So there will be a renewal of our energy in terms of Mars, purpose, action, confidence. Mars is masculine energy in everyone. There's something peculiar though in this occasion, because he's going through Leo and also through Cancer. And these are very different energies. So in terms of dates, he starts on the 6th of December. This will end, his retrograde will end on the 17th of April 2025. He starts in Leo, 6 degrees of Leo, and goes all the way back to the 17th degrees of Cancer. So that's the space you're going to look for in your chart. 6 degrees Leo, 17 of Cancer. He's going to be going back and forward again. I sense there is a healing of our connection to the original frequency of our hearts, to the original motivation, the passion, the sacred causes that move us, that spring us into action. There is a deep work with our self-love, with the leadership of our own life, our own energy, our own use of will. I think the first part of this experience can actually feel like a punch to the ego, because the idea is that we are going to retrieve confidence, the nobility of our hearts, of our creativity. And for this, we need to acknowledge certain insecurities and wounds, and how dependent we are on the validation of others outside, how much we need to be applauded and to feel special and to feel important. And don't get me wrong, we all need and actually deserve to be seen for who we are. The thing here is if we are capable of seeing ourselves, of validating and celebrating the radiance of our energy, ourselves, without needing to be validated outside, when he goes into Cancer, I find that even a little more complex because Mars doesn't really like being in Cancer that much. And Cancer, it's a connection to memory, to ancestry, to the emotional body, to waters, to infancy. It looks like we're going to do a journey into our inner childs, and we're going to try and find a healthy expression of our anger and boundaries, learning to truly listen to our needs, and becoming able to nurture ourselves, because the sensation with Mars in Cancer might be one of extreme emotional insecurity. And managing this is important because the downfall of this can be extreme reactivity, being very defensive, aggressive. It's violent. We are all obviously maturing our masculine energy, cleansing it from all the distortions. And that's part of this journey. And if you think about it, we are entering 2025 with this energy, which feels like an initiatory, like a ceremony. When you think of everything that happens in Aries energy in 2025, all this newness that is coming towards us, we are going to need to have clarity of intention, clarity of movement, sovereignty in our creativity, in our willpower. And we're going to have to remember as masculine energy that we are in service to life and love, in taking care of the waters, of the mothers, if you think about it in Cancer. This is the hero's journey, right, with its challenges and all. Yeah. We're going to be walking through it together, so that I can mention all of the transits and dialogues, because it's a lot. It'd be too much for right now. Well, I do want to say perhaps the most impactful dialogue is the opposition to Pluto. We already had one. It's going to be 3. The first one was the 3rd of November. We're going to have a second one on the 3rd of January. And the last one, whilst Mars direct, is on the 26th of April. So this is it. Sorry. The beginning of this cleansing, purification towards true integrity of the masculine energy impulse in each and every one of us. That's it, family. That's what I have for these days. Let me see. This is classes, workshops. Okay, not right now. Yeah, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your time. I wish we connect to temperance, to trust, and to beauty. Blessings.